non-insurable risk, and therefore, let's look into this practical example. There are risks that have no data whatsoever. A good and fraudulent example comes from there. An example of televangelist who partnered with an insurance company to sell ruptured insurance. Basically, he paid a premium, and this is what cannot be insured at all, because this is basically knowing that this is a fraudulent act, therefore it may not be covered by any insurance. This is basically not covered by insurance at all because it is a fraudulent act. Sometimes people do happen to have this type of insurance, but it is not allowed at all. Now let's look into the compulsory insurance. Looking into the compulsory insurance, we said the most important thing is they are legally binding. Most of them, they are legally binding. It is forced by law, or it is always under a particular law that this should always happen. UIF is Unemployment Insurance Fund, Road Accident Fund, and COIDA. Workmen's Compensation is our COIDA on the other page, our COIDA. COIDA means now if you are involved in an injury whilst you are working, then you will still be covered. Now, let's look into UIF. All employees in South Africa must contribute a certain percentage to the UIF. Remember, how is UIF being funded? It is only funded by the contribution of a 1% from every employee. Everyone who's working in South Africa is contributing something into the UIF. And the state and the employers contribute to the fund by matching the employee's amount. They also contribute the same percentage. If I am paying 1%, the employer will still pay the percentage that I'm paying also. In case of an employee loses his job due to, number 1, retrenchment, number 2, retirement, the person will still get UIF. When you go for maternity leave, you get yourself paid during the period when you are still on leave. If it's 4 months, you are paid for that period also. When you are on sick leave, you've got a paid sick leave, and that is basically an example of the Unemployment Insurance Fund cover. An employee can also claim from the fund directly. As an employee, you can still claim, and you will still be compensated also. Road Accident Fund, how is it being funded? Road Accident Fund, a levy is charged on all fuel sold, and proceed goes towards the Road Accident Fund. The money that people always claim from the Road Accident Fund, it is the money that is always charged on fuel as a levy. There will be a levy that is charged on fuel, and as a result, that money is contributed to the fund of the Road Accident Fund, and that is how the money is contributed from the Road Accident Fund. Every time when you buy fuel, you contribute towards the Road Accident Fund. The Road Accident Fund pays out motorists or pedestrians who get injured on the road, or who are killed due to negligence of other drivers. Then you will still be able to claim from the Road Accident Fund. Remember, these are the compulsory insurances, and therefore there will always be a payout for them. There will always be a payout. Now, COIDA. How is COIDA being funded? Governed by the Compensation and Occupational Injuries Diseases Act. This is basically the act that covers the COIDA. This is the act that also covers for COIDA. And as a result, COIDA will always be applicable in those companies. If a particular person becomes injured, a particular person must always be compensated for that. The fund applies to all workers who are injured or they get killed at work whilst carrying out their own normal duties. And as a result, this act would come in and they will definitely be compensated. Employers register all their employees and contribute towards the fund on monthly basis. the employers will always contribute a certain portion of money in the fund, that is the COIDA. Now, when we look into the different compulsory insurances, I think in summary, we can summarize them by saying these 3 compulsory insurances are basically covered in a way that the government would always try to ensure that there is no risk that is not paid out if it happens in any case of any losses as a result of working, as a result of being involved in an accident, or as a result when people are not employed at all. So the 3 compulsory insurance covers for those acts where there is non-employment, the government assist come in. When there is an injury at work, the government comes in, and also when there is an accident and the individuals were involved, and also it will still serve as the security for you when you are not employed. It will also serve as security for you when you happen to be injured on duty or you die whilst you are working. It means your dependent will still get something out of that. I think up to this far, let us try to recap exactly for the presentations of today. We're looking at the different types of shares. We look at different types of shares, and looking at different types of shares simply means that now we've got ordinary and preference shares. And then we look at different types of preference shares, and then from there we look at the other type of investment. Other type of investment could be the insurance. Insurance on its own means that now a person will be contributing a certain portion of money in case of any damage or in case of any loss. So the person will be covered. So it's another part of investment also. Investing in an insurance means that now if it happens that anything happens and then you are to suffer a loss, then you become compensated also. We look into the different types of insurance. We also looked into the necessities. We look into the advantages of insurance, and looking at the advantages of insurance, we have seen that insurances are more important for individuals. They are also important for larger businesses also. Important for individuals, important for businesses also. We went through the different clauses that are also applicable, the different clauses or the different terminologies that are applicable in the business world. And therefore, it is more important that each and every learner must take into account those different terminology, because you will be able now to respond in a question where those terminologies are being used. But if you do not understand exactly all those terminologies, it will be difficult for you to break down a particular question and to respond in a proper manner in a particular question. I would like to take this moment again to say to all the grade 12s in 2014, as you will also be writing on Wednesday, on the 19th, that on Monday there will still be another presentation on business studies. That could be the last presentation on Monday, and you must also take advantage of the advices. There will be another presenter on Monday, and then take those advantages, and please look through your previous question papers, look through your exemplar question papers, use everything at your advantage so that you could be able now to understand exactly what is the requirement of the examination. And we want to wish you well and all the best for you. Then you can do it. You are now at the end, you are just nearing, and you are just about to finish your examinations. You have done it already. Please keep it up, keep well. You can do it, and you can do it better. Thank you very much.